Hey Grandma, what countries do you originate from? I asked her one day. I was little, maybe around 7, and I wanted to know a lot about my world. She responded with a lot of information about how she has German ancestry and a bit of French. I loved French culture, so I asked her if that meant I was French too. She shook her head and reminded me that she had adopted my mom. I had forgotten about this. At the time, it was quite easy for me to let that slip over my head. It's weird. My mother and I have a family we have never met nor may ever meet. We don't know our history or any family stories. I remember maybe a year after that talk with my grandma, a conversation with my friends brought it up again. What's your ancestry? They asked. I paled. I was 8 and I still didn't know much about my mom's biological family. All my other friends knew where they came from, but I only knew about my dad's completely South Indian family. That put me through a loop. Your family is a bit of who you are as a person. Both my mother and I are affected by this. We don't know what our family did for a living. If some of our traits and looks came from a biological grandpa or aunt. For a while, my mother didn't have any information on that, only the small knowledge given to her by the adoption agency. It wasn't much and just gave her a basic once-over of her birth mom, like how she's from the Netherlands and that she migrated to America, specifically California. She told me, in her 20s, she wanted to know more. So while she was in San Francisco, she did some research. She found out new facts through some records, but it just led her to dead ends. After a while, she stopped doing intense studying. However, after I bugged her about 1,000,000 times and she was done waiting, she had had enough. Around 1 or 2 years ago, she started again and has had much more success. My biological grandma sadly passed, which hurts a bit. I was holding on to the fantasy of meeting her. As well as that, she learned that she has 2 half-siblings that are alive, along with some other juicy drama. There was 2 attempts to contact her family, but they didn't respond. Saddened by this, my mother is building up the courage to write a letter. For now, all we have is chunks of info and a messy family tree we found on Ancestry.com. This leaves a little hole in me. I want to know more. I want to know everything about my family, the stories, the history. It bleeds into my everyday life and causes me to be very curious. I want to know it all. I need to know it all, because then I feel a bit better. Now, whenever someone brings up the topic about family history, I reminisce about what my grandma told me when I was 7. It's a reminder of my lost history, which I may never get access to. At least I can hold on to limited scraps and imagine.